Okay, hello class. So I just wanted to finish that section 1.4 recording. We're still going over our first objective, explaining the use of data collection and statistics as tools to teach reasonable conclusions. Okay. And again, on our quiz 1.4, it covers these ideas of dependent variables, independent variables, and then observational and experimental studies. Okay, on our study guide. Okay. And so if we look at our workbook, in our workbook, this is on page 14. Okay, so the first part, observational studies, it says that in an observational study, the researcher just merely observes and just tries to draw conclusions based on observations. And they do have some examples here of some studies, very intense studies. And they have cross-sectional studies. Those are studies that are when data are collected all at one time. Retrospective studies, when all the data are collected using records obtained from the past. Longitudinal studies, the data are collected over a period of time, like past and present. And then it says here, you can follow a group of subjects, okay, in the longitudinal study, okay. Then experimental studies, the researcher manipulates one of the variables, and oftentimes that would be them manipulating the independent variable. And tries to determine how the manipulation influences the other variables, and the other variables would be that of the dependent variable. So they have some examples of like us testing fertilizer. A group A is given standard fertilizer, and then group B is given the newly enhanced fertilizer. Or a study of a new drug. One group is given a placebo, which is maybe like, for example, maybe some kind of a sugar pill, for example. The other group is given the actual drug, okay? That's kind of what's going on now, right, with COVID-19. They have like 30,000 in the sample, so 15,000 are given the placebo, and then 50,000 are actually given the vaccine that they're testing, okay? And then it says test yourself. So in a large city, a researcher decides to check the police department records for 2 months to determine what type of vehicles were stolen. Okay, so I would say that with them checking the records for 2 months, that would be with them checking the records for 2 months, that's more of a retrospective study. So all the data are collected using records obtained from the past, okay? And so because of that, because that could fit under retrospective study, that would be more of an observational study. So if you can fit it into one of those three, cross-sectional, retrospective, or longitudinal, then that lends itself more to observational studies. So here in a park, visitors were just asked, they were approached and asked how many minutes a day did they walk their dog. So I would say that's an example of cross-sectional. So visitors were approached and asked that question. So that's more like cross sectional. And cross-sectional, remember at the top, says that all the data are collected at one time. So you're just going to go to the park and ask and see who's there and ask that and get that information. So that fits under observational. And then this last one says subjects were randomly divided into 2 groups. One group was permitted 4 hours of sleep the other night for each night for 1 week. Then the other group was allowed to sleep, wow, at least 8 hours each night for 1 week. And then they looked at the blood pressures of both groups were taken at the end of the week and compared. Yeah, so this is an example of an experimental study. And because in an experimental study, if you can define who's the independent variable, you know, we have an X and a Y, the X is considered the independent variable. Okay. And on the next page, it talks about how sometimes they call it the explanatory variable. So here it's going to be the sleep hours. So they're going to manipulate, the sleep hours are manipulated. So you can see 4 hours versus 8 hours, I believe is what they said. And then they're going to look at the y, right? The y has to do, excuse me, I'm sorry. The y has to do with the dependent variable. Which is also called the outcome. On the next page, it talks about the outcome variable. And here what they're studying is they're studying their blood pressures. Okay, so determine how the manipulation influences other variables. So how does the sleep affect their blood pressure? Okay, so that's more of an experimental study. Let's see. So I have here, because of the manipulation of the independent variable. Yeah, so you want to see, you want to look at the outcome, you want to look at the blood pressures, right? So how are these, how are these impacted, right? Based on the manipulation of that. Okay. Okay. And then if we look at the next page, I'm going to read it out loud because some of you might still be writing, but the next page, on page 15, it says that the independent variable is an experimental study, is the one that's being manipulated by the researcher. The independent variable is also called the explanatory variable. And then it says the resultant variable is also called the dependent variable or the outcome variable. Okay, so they also use the word resultant variable. So I had here outcome variable. They also call it the resultant variable. Okay. Okay. So then and then let's see. I want to show you in my notes that are saved. You might see a sheet like this, and this is just, you know, again talking about the independent variable is the variable being manipulated by the researcher. The dependent variable, the variable is studied to see if it has changed significantly because of the manipulation of the independent variable. If the difference in the dependent variable is large and other factors are equal, then the difference can be attributed to the manipulation of the independent variable. Okay, so this is just an extra handout that I made based on your workbook, and it's in your, if you look through your PDFs, you can see that. And then this sheet over here, this is when you read your ebook. Let me shrink this a little bit. When you read your ebook, there is, let's see if I can enlarge it a little bit. And this is coming from your ebook. And so there is a study where they look at the types of instruction. There's a coach that gives people general instructions, like it tells them just do your best. And then they give them specific instructions on their sit-ups. Try to increase the amount of sit-ups done each day by 10%. Okay, so the independent variable is a type of instruction that gets manipulated. One is general, one is specific. Okay, and so you want to know, does the independent variable cause some kind of change in the dependent variable? So the dependent variable has to do with the sit-ups, the number of sit-ups that each group was able to perform, and this was after 4 days of exercise. What makes the dependent variable change the way it does? Okay, so this is the number of sit-ups. Okay, the variables on the dependent variable, the variable is being predicted and scaled on the y-axis. Okay. All right. So what they notice is that the specific instructions were shown to increase athletic performance. When they had the specific directions from their coach, look at the number of sit-ups, 56, as opposed to the general, which was just 43. Okay. So that's in your ebook when you read. So I just wrote that up based on your ebook reading. And then this one I got from another stats book. This is an example from a business perspective also. Has to do with copy machines sold and the number of phone calls made. So you'll notice that if only 10 phone calls were made, then only about 20 copy machines were sold. But the more they made more of the phone calls, like this group over here that made between 40 to 60 phone calls. Look over here how they sold between 60 to 70 copy machines. Okay, so here, as the number of sales calls increase, it looks like the number of copy machines sold also increased. So the number of copiers sold, it was related to the number of the sales calls made, right? So your independent variable would be the number of sales calls. You manipulate the sales calls. Sometimes it was 10, sometimes it was on the high end. And then you looked at the impact on the number of copy machines sold, okay? And so it says the number of copiers sold is related to the number of sales calls made. There was a positive relationship between the two variables. Okay, so that's just an idea to help you. And then that's related then to the next part where it says test yourself. On page 15, it says identify the independent variable and the dependent variable. Okay, so I'm gonna do this for this problem. I'm gonna make a x and a y for that. X and then a y. So y is the dependent, where x is the independent. So we've got this journal here, and they're saying that a regular 30-minute workout could slash your risk of catching a cold. Okay, so the independent variable is the workout, and it looks like they're looking at a time of 30 minutes. So they're saying, like, if they work a 30-minute workout, it looks like they're going to get, maybe, does that impact the number of colds? Does that impact the number of colds a person receives? We don't have any more information than that, but that's just an idea of who's the independent variable and who's the dependent variable. Okay, and then for this problem here, if I do the same thing, x is independent, y is dependent. A research study stated that meditation helps people make more rational decisions. So here the independent variable is that form of meditation. So we don't know if they're doing yoga, or they sitting by scented candles, or and sitting in the dark. We don't know what type of meditation. Are they reading? But they're looking at forms of meditation, and they're wondering if that helps them with the number of rational decisions. So we're taking a look at that. Okay. All right. And then I have one more that I'm going to write down at the bottom, example at the bottom. And I hope you had time to write that down. But at the bottom, I got this from your ebook. It's an example in the past from your ebook on those exercises there. And it says that a journal reported that sharing a hug and holding hands can limit the physical effects of stress, such as soaring heart rate and elevated blood pressure. So I know this is difficult, right? Going with COVID going on is hard because we have to keep our physical distancing. So this would have to be limited to like within your household, right? Your people in your household. Um, and so, but if I look at X and my Y, again, Y is the dependent variable, X is the independent variable, okay? So here it would be the independent variable would be keeping track of the number of hugs and the amount of hand holding. So number of hugs and the amount of hand holding, like you're holding someone's hand, and you're keeping track of that, and you're seeing how does that affect their their heart rate, how does that affect their blood pressure, does that somehow lower that, how does that affect that, okay? And so on your computer when you do these, they will help you with the wording on they'll have like the typed wording. You just have to like drag it, like take the wording and drag it and put it either independent or put it as either dependent. So always think about this is um, excuse me, the part that's being manipulated, and you're trying to see how when you monitor that, manipulate it, that how does that reflect or result in this dependent variable? Does it improve it? Does it bring it down? Does it make it worse? How does that affect that? Okay. Okay, and then these other parts, you're not going to be tested in Connect Math, but in your ebook, they talk here about the uses and misuses of statistics, so I'm not going to read through them, but you definitely should read through the workbooks, read through those. It's just that we didn't, and then they have faulty survey questioning, so you should read through those. We can't put everything on the quiz, it has to be limited, so we just limit it to that. And then in 1.5, I don't have a videos planned for that, but these will be helpful when we start, I guess, chapter 2 and mostly chapter 3. But these are things you should start looking at and practicing. And faculty always use the TI-84 calculators. So I've noticed that sometimes students say if you're using the app, which is brand new, we've never used the app before, but under the circumstances, if you're going to make use of the app, you're probably going to want to visit MathWorld. We have the tutors working from home, and all they do all day is just answer your questions. So go with online in the Zoom MathWorld. I have that in your Canvas course, and let them help you work through that, because that could take some time, because we're used to the TI-84. So now this app idea is something that's new. And so you want to work through that. I can't guarantee that the steps are exactly the same. And so you need to work through that, and then you can work with a tutor to refine those skills on that, because I always have made use of the TI-84, and that's why I encourage that. So I don't know the exact similarities or subtle differences on that, but that's what y'all need to work on if you're going to go with the app for that. But this is something for you to work on in 1.5. Okay. All right, and then just get ready, for your quiz. As you get ready for your quiz, you want to decorate your note sheet, your tools kit, and get ready for that quiz that will be coming up. Okay, and then I'll be in touch with you via, your announcements in Canvas, and also Canvas inbox. Okay, so there's your material for 1.4. So work on your homework and Connect Math and read your ebook. Okay, thank you. Bye.